So we're back with more football tactics in Glory World, Creo Team's upcoming game. And as per usual, we're going to split this into two sections. First section is going to focus on the strategic side when it comes to managing the team, the transfer market, the club, and everything in between. And the second side will be focused on the tactical layer when we look at playing a match and talking about all the various decisions that take place there. Let's get right into it. So if we take a look at the table, we're currently about 2 matches in. Things have been looking good so far. I believe this is year number 2. So it looks like the career is working out as you'd expect. In terms of the jobs I've been given, I do like the fact that we can actually check the task history. And I do feel like it's been ramping up at a fair rate. I also really like this develop the club the way you see fit task as well. I like the fact that we had different ways of fulfilling the goal. It wasn't like do specific things and nothing else. I think since I'm focused on the transfer market this run, I was focusing on a lot of the transfer market specific tasks. So like I was grabbing promising players and stuff like that and completing the goal that way. I did see there are other ways to do it when it comes to like building up the infrastructure and whatnot. So it was nice that we did get different ways of fulfilling that goal. I really like that a lot. In terms of everything else, I have been taking advantage of the extended list and the internet, and not the international, the extended lists and also the personal lists. So kind of taking advantage of that scouting infrastructure bonus, which is pretty nice. And then of course I've really been doing that to take advantage of the hiring agents that can actually see information on the player, that can actually scout what's going on, and that allows me to kind of plan more effectively. Before that, I was definitely just spending money for like a month, and while it's not a whole lot at the lower end, obviously it gets greater and greater as time goes on. It's not necessarily something you want to rely on. I can see this being an absolute money sink in the higher leagues. Like for example, if you don't have scouts that can actually see anything, you're spending like $635,000 per month, which is a lot of money, even at the high league. When you think about it, you could be using that money on anything else. And then I'm sure that the glory cost will increase as well to actually show that information. So I think that's balanced pretty well. There's an incentive to take advantage of the scouting infrastructure, the scout center. Whereas in the previous game, it was really just the youth academy, the training ground, the stadium, and that was what you'd spend your glory on. It does feel like the scout center is way more important now, just for that alone. And then of course you can see how it's impacting my choices here. I only have 2 stars in the midfielder coach, so I'm going to spend less glory on my training grounds, because I'm more focused on the scouting center this time. And then since I have an average level of 1 for my scouts, I can actually start looking at the other countries, which is actually really nice. And of course, I think the way this works is it impacts the search that we can use. I like that change as well. Remember, I've been playing this for a while, from when you guys first started implementing the search. I still think there's work to be done here. I feel like the maximum cost should really be based on your current monetary value. For example, if I can't spend more than 413,000, this should automatically go to 413,000. If I can't spend more glory than 34 glory, it should automatically go to my maximum. So it definitely feels like it should be looking for players that are based on the amount of resources that I have, instead of just defaulting to like the maximum number. I would also like to see the same thing happen for giftedness. In this situation, I would like to see giftedness increase. So instead of level 0 will be amateur, 1 star will be 3rd league, 2 star will be 2nd, and then maybe 3 will be 1st, and then 4 will be at the top, just to make it a little easier. Because when I come in here, these are some of the first things I'm going to do. I'm in the 2nd league, so I don't really care about giftedness 0 anymore. You know, I want players that are at least on par with what I have, so I'm going to go 2. And then obviously I can't spend 9 1,999 fame. So it would just be nice to see that stuff, right? And then everything else seems like it's okay. I know that it's a work in progress, but again, I do like the idea behind it. I like the idea of having a search that's limited. You can't just search the entire world. You can only search what you would actually be able to see. So in terms of being able to see various players from different teams, if I can't see the players here, I can't actually search for them. Can't get any information. Also like the fact that we have information showing why we can't buy them right here. We have to get an agent and all that stuff. So I like that a lot. Something else I do like as well is the fact that international agents kind of incentivize you to build up your scouting center. In this game, since football and cultures are going to be so important, it is nice to have a way to look for specifics. I also like the fact that we can immediately see the bonuses here as well. So if I wanted to grab someone from Austria, this would be why I want an Austrian player. Same for everybody else. And then of course all the agents cost the same, which I think is fine. I think there's an opportunity cost here when it comes to choosing a specific culture. And then of course, this is really just for the extended list, so you still say that the cost of purchasing directly will always be higher than from the transfer list. So I like that. Even though we have this opportunity, it's not going to be the best way to buy players. The best way to buy players will always be here. And then we'll buy whatever we can get, right? So I definitely like that a lot as well. There are some solid players, they're just the wrong nationality. I also did make a couple of purchases earlier, so I don't think I necessarily need to do it again. Deans is actually very good. He's 24, so he's fairly young. He doesn't have a lot of defense, but he has level 3 intercept, which means that nobody can pass through him at all. He's actually a very good player, even if his stats don't look like they're the greatest. So I might actually pick him up. He's also Scottish, which is going to be really important because, as we noted last time, I'm starting to have a lot of international players on this team, or foreign players on this team, which is going to impact my my limit. There's a certain number of players you can have from other countries. That's going to be an issue. I also like that because it incentivizes you to pick up players from your own country. So see, I bought these two guys. They're pretty solid players for what you get. But I have a lot of internationals on this team now, right? So it would help to get another player from Scotland who does something that none of these other players can do. And then if I look at him, if I think about him as a standard DM, he's not amazing. But if I start to think about him as a Scottish player, he's actually not bad. Because he has 24 control, which isn't amazing, let's be honest. But the forwards don't normally have a lot of defense, so in terms of holding the ball in his own half, he can probably do it. And then he has 46 passing, which is actually very good for a Scottish player, because that's going to be 100% times 100%. That's going to be doubled. That's going to be 92, I believe. And then another 50. So he's probably going to have... Is that how it works? It's 150%. I'm just doing the math here. I could also put it in the computer, but I like doing math in my head. I'm weird. Weird like that. 100% is basically doubled. That's going to be 92. He's going to have over 100 passing from the back, which is going to make him very good at lobbing the ball forward, even though he doesn't have long pass. So he's going to be very good at counterattacking. Maybe he can get the ball, he can hold it up, and then we can kind of set up the front later on. And then he also has level 2 intercept, which means it's impossible to pass through him because, to use a special pass through him because he's a DM, so he gets intercept for free. So I'm actually going to buy him. He's slightly more expensive, but he's also fairly young. I think for a specialist, he's a good call. Yeah, he's definitely a good call. This guy would be good if he wasn't a central defender. But he's actually a solid purchase. You can also see I'm getting him at a discount because of my scouting upgrades. That's another reason to invest in the scouts. I have 4 scouts, that's minus 12. If you invest all the way to the end, for argument's sake, you can get, let's see, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, you can get up to a 20% discount on any purchases in the transfer market. And then the players will be younger and younger, so it will just kind of snowball there. And then obviously it will be impacting the average level of your scouts. You know, the average level will increase as well, which means you'll be able to see more and more information when you're ready to play. So I really like the way you've kind of merged those two things together. The tactical layer when it comes to actually seeing information before you actually start a game, and the strategic layer when it comes to actually handling the transfer market. I do like that a lot. We're gonna grab him just because I think that makes a lot of sense. Again, he's young, that's good. And then of course every time we do that, new players are gonna show up. Let's actually get into a game. Alright, so this is how I'm actually gonna play the game out. Starting off with the ball, so we're gonna kind of play to see if we can get direct shots on goal from a distance. Still training Scarf, which is why he's still out there. The first few games are going to be focused on training up our younger players, so we can get rid of some of these older guys, you know? That's going to be the idea there. We're actually going to replace Scarf with Gilmore because he's closer to becoming an amateur class. As you know, it's usually worthwhile to get those amateur classes up and running so they can start learning a skill. So we're going to do that, and we're going to play it like this, and we'll see what happens. Again, using the campaign formation that, using the campaign option rather, that hides the formation. So a lot of this is just based on experience and reading the personnel sheet, which again, I like a lot. You know, I kind of have to look at their formation, look at their classes, understanding where those classes are most effective, look at their abilities and whatnot, and make a plan based on that, which is essentially what I'm doing. And again, I like this because it forces you to be flexible. You know, these guys might be placed in ways I don't expect, so maybe I'll need to make an adjustment later on the field. We're going to start it out. We're going to go ahead and get going. Again, it is a training match, so I'm not really looking to win. I mean, I'll take a draw. I'll even take a small loss. That's not the end of the world. So immediately you can see where the players are right here. Immediately you can tell that, you see, I didn't expect this guy to be here. These kind of make it a bit more difficult to actually keep possession or get the ball through. CM's also on this side, which is also an issue in and of itself. But we do have some options. You know, I have some things I can potentially do. We're going to see if that actually pays off, though. We're going to pass through him. Again, he's weak because I have decreased plus going. You know, Creo Team had mentioned that based on that new RNG setting, basically the dice roll setting, it's based on your the giftedness of your player and the giftedness of the opponent. So if we go here, we look at this guy, he's giftedness level 2, and he has 15 defense. I'm giftedness level 3 and I have 51. So the floor, so our minimum rolls are going to be higher than someone with lower giftedness. You know, we're not giftedness level 0, so we can never roll a 1. It's always a percentage of our attributes, right? So it's kind of like decreased, where decreased is always a flat 30%. I like this way more because it's based on your giftedness out of the gate. I think, in fact, this may be something that Creo Team just replaced, that they used to replace. This may be something that Creo Team used to replace the decrease setting, now that I think about it. So this may be the new decreased, where it's always based on your giftedness. So the reason why he's weak is because no matter what I roll, he can never roll above it. So I'll always be even or better, which means it's guaranteed to work, right? And I like that a lot. It's a nice little quality of life thing for sure. So we're going to pass it over here because that's our entire plan. He's also Scottish, so we're going to take advantage of that bonus that he gets. We're going to put the ball there. He's Scottish. He gets planning ahead, which is going to give him 50 passing, which isn't the greatest thing, but it's a start. And we're going to hold the ball because he has solid control. And I think we'll be able to keep it. 48 is solid for the midfield. He's just going to go ahead and tackle. Oh, that's actually very smart. That's incredibly smart. So you see, again, I like to praise the AI in this game because, again, I've played a lot of strategy and tactical games, and you'll rarely find the AI that's able to read the situation like this. It's almost chess-like. So basically, I put him in the box, and that caused the AI to respond in two ways. One, they realized that they couldn't win the ball, so they wanted to cut off my ability to shoot from the side because he has cannon shot, right? That was the first play they made. So they moved him to the left to block off the cannon shot. So it's kind of impossible for him to shoot because he's there. And then after that, they had another action left. They said, you know what? He's going to be in the box, so let's just cut that option off too. So they took the opportunity to move the sweeper out of the box. So now he's offside. So you see they've cut off two of my potential attacks in one move. They cut off the cannon shot, which is what I was setting up for, and they cut off the pass into the box, which would have been another potential opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see. We're going to play it like this because the problem is their sweeper is out of the box now. We're going to go ahead and do that. Let's see what they do. Okay, they're going to try to tackle from the front. Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah, that's smart. Well, that's I don't know about that. It's a choice. They put the sweeper back in just in case I move him out of the box, I guess. And to potentially fight for the ball here. We're going to see if we can get it to him, planning ahead so he gets 50. It's a loft at a distance, so it's going to be a little harder. It is a decent opportunity. I'll go ahead and take that chance. If he was an RM, he would have actually been able to take a shot, but he's not yet. Again, a big part of this is going to be training, for sure. And now we're going to go ahead and prep for this play. Because this guy might get the ball and he has nutmeg. So the way to counter a nutmeg in this situation is to put two CDs together. That way, no matter what he does, he's guaranteed to get auto-tackled by somebody. And it's great because he is he's gifted at level 2, I think, or 3. So if I take a look at this, I think he's 2, yeah, so he's 11. So even in that situation, it's kind of tough for him to get the ball through. So again, that's the old high pressing line that I've put together. There was some message recently from someone who was saying it never makes sense to play multiple forwards, but there's always a reason to play formations that are more aggressive, especially if you're thinking about different types of players. So I have all sorts of players here. That kind of allows me to keep the ball in their half. I still haven't taken a shot yet, but the idea is to take high quality shots on goal as opposed to just any old shot, right? So I'd consider this a high quality shot because it's a one-on-one situation. Anytime it's one-on-one, it's high quality because the goalkeeper always has the potential to roll poorly compared to your roll. If you take a look at this, the goalkeeper's potential also matters because, again, I'm using Decreased. Decreased is going to raise your floor based on your giftedness level. So he's giftedness level 1, so his floor can never be a 1. It's going to be like 10% of 57, I believe, or whatever you have in goal. So it's always going to be at least an 8 or a 9, right? He can never roll a 1. I'm giftedness level 2, so I can never roll lower than 20% of 51. So in this case, I have the advantage, but I'm also aware that I can miss. I can just roll badly. But also by doing a precision shot, I'm reducing his floor even further. So if I did a power shot, the lowest you'd be able to roll is like an 8 or a 9. If I do a precision shot, the lowest you can roll is a 5 or a 6. So it might be worth it based on that. I really have to decide. I also need to think about the potential corner kick. And finally, I have to think about the purpose of this entire game, right? So there are a bunch of different things I can do. I'm probably just gonna shoot, I'm thinking. Yeah, we're gonna shoot. I'm thinking about their counterattack. Yeah, there we go. We got it. I really like it because a lot of different decisions go into it now. It's not just whether or not you take the precision shot, whether or not you take the power shot, to get a better chance on goal, to potentially get a corner kick. It's now about, what giftedness are they? What's their minimum role level compared to you? If it's 1, maybe you want to take that power shot, even if their defense is fairly high. If it's significantly higher than 1, maybe precision shot's the way to go. Like a while ago, I did that shot, even though it's not significantly higher, but it could be. So I do like the fact that it gives you different things to consider, for sure. We're just going to make a quick adjustment now that they've actually gotten the ball. We'll do that. We'll also play McNee here, just so we have someone up there. I like to do more of a 4-3-3. This is more like a 4-3-1-2. I normally just keep it to 3 numbers, 4-3-3. Yes, I'll do that. He's not as dangerous as the other one, but yeah, our defenders aren't very good. There's always a risk of them just shooting through. It happens. You kind of just have to accept that it's possible. 67 against our defenders is actually pretty solid. If I wanted to make it harder, I could move a defender over here for sure. Really up to me. Let's see what we got here. How are they doing? Masters is there. Let's take out Master and put in the older player now. Just to make it a little harder, we're going to do that. I don't think I'm actually going to stop this ball. So I might not even bother with that. But I would like to get the ball forward next time. So let's see what we can do there. We're going to want somebody with passing. A significant amount of passing. That's going to be one thing I'm thinking about. So we're going to take you out because you're getting tired. We're also going to need control. We can do Deans, I guess. We could absolutely play Deans over there. Deans is also a solid option because he has that level 2 intercept. So if we get to the front, they're not really going to be able to... They're not really going to be able to get the ball through again. I'm thinking about it. He's also leveled up, so we're going to take him out. He's gotten a chance to rest up. Just trying to think about this next play. He has cannon shot, so he's going to play up there. Yeah, we have some options for sure. 16. We're going to play him there. Yeah, we'll do that. And we'll see what happens here. Making a few changes. Of course, you do have 5 possible substitutions now. So Creole team, I'm not sure if you guys have sorted out the issue where you make 5 subs at once and it crashes the game. I'm assuming you'd need more artwork in that situation. You do have space, like over here. So if you wanted to maybe move these guys to the left a little bit to use up that extra space, and then put 2 more footballers on the right-hand side, they might fit. But I can definitely see someone making 4 or more subs at once. It happens. And then it could potentially crash the game. 85 is solid. That's a good choice. He gets a better opportunity. He's closer. That's a good save as well. I'm going to see if I can... Why can't I tackle you? Oh, that makes sense, because he has the ball, right? He doesn't have the ball. Alright, I was being silly. Don't mind me. It happens sometimes, right? I'm actually going to play the ball forward. And I'm going to get rid of it because he has slide tackle. He's dangerous, right? So we're just going to do that. Play it up. Goalkeeper's going to go back into the box. He's going to go forward. He didn't go forward. Weird. What are you going to do? You're going to lob it, of course. Nutmeg. Dangerous. Yep. You're going to go for the ball. We're going to take it away. Oh, we're going to try to take it away, I guess. See if we can get it now. Oh, that's lucky. This is bad, though, because he's old. I have to figure out how I want to do this. I'm going to play it forward. He's old, so if he keeps the ball, he might get injured. And he's also right here, so if he loses the ball, it wouldn't be great. Okay, they're playing it back. Let's see what we got. Maybe I can make a play here. He does have solid passing, though. I might be able to make a play. If I just hold it. And he's Scottish as well. Yeah, he might be able to make a play. Let's do it. And then he has, let's see. He has nutmeg. I'm not as worried about that anymore. I'm going to put them side by side now. He's Scottish. That's great. That's exactly what I wanted. Now, what are you guys going to do? Okay, they're going to tackle again. That's a choice. You're right. So he's Scottish. He gets planning ahead, which gives him a huge boost to passing. 115 is insane. You know, when you look at where he started from. And that's going to potentially give him the opportunity to loft it. It's still pretty far, but with 115 passing, all of a sudden you can do it. And that gives him the opportunity to get a long ball in. You know, 115 versus 60 is not bad. Let's see if we got it. And again, what I like about this game is the fact that it gives you information to let you know how things work. So let's see if we can get it to him. Nice, he got it. That's perfect. That's beautiful. That's exactly why I bought him as well. Because even though he doesn't have great defense as a DM, he has really good passing for a Scottish player. You know, he starts off with 46. That gives him a huge boost when he manages to hold the ball. 24 control is not bad for him. And then now we have an opportunity to score. And we got it. I love it. It's great. Very nice stuff. So again, Scotland's bonus isn't as strong as some of the other countries, but when you understand how to build around it, it can be incredibly, incredibly good. Like we saw right there. So we got a win. We also got some nice action. We got some players' experience as well, which is our main purpose. It's not so much winning, it's building up these players. So we got some more experience points, which is always good. Then Gilmore's there as well. Dean's there as well. And then we got someone as another amateur player, which means he's going to start learning a skill. And he's also an attacking player, which means I'll probably want a skill that complements him. I'm hoping for nutmeg. Oh, okay. I mean, didn't get nutmeg. Yeah. You would think long pass would be the obvious play, but for him, I don't know. Like, Gilmore is going to be playing more of an attacking role. Even though everybody loves long pass, I don't think it's the best choice for him. In his situation, Rainbow Feint might actually be better, if I'm being honest, if I'm being completely honest. Because his entire goal is going to be to take shots on goal, rather. So, don't know. He's also 19, so I could definitely go for a layoff pass if I wanted to make him an AM. And then he could potentially be an AM with lower passing, but who's also very, very dangerous because he has the ability to false kick, pull players out of position, and then layoff pass. There's some opportunities there. He'd also have the ability to false kick and then Rainbow Feint, so I'll probably go for that, honestly. Yeah, but that was a fruitful game. As well. Again, I really do love the way that Scotland's bonus works. I like the more specialized bonuses. You know, stuff like free long pass and slide tackle are easy to understand, but to me they're boring. You know, I like the stuff that really makes you think about what you're doing. Like Austria's bonus is interesting, Switzerland's is interesting, Germany's is interesting, and all that stuff.